Hi there, welcome to today's Wednesday webinar, fourth Wednesday, so we're all about seniors and ambassadors and the great outdoors. It's a little more about seniors and ambassadors today, and then the great outdoors within that, but there will be a little bit because there are so many opportunities. So we've got a brand new year, and you're working with seniors and ambassadors, 9, 10, 11th, and 12th graders. What have you been up to? What have they been up to? Where are your girls now? And, what's coming next? What are they up to next? I love these pictures. Kids traveling. This is at Natarsby, this one down in the lower right. And then a couple of girls who at the end of 8th grade earned their silver projects, and they're now newly bridged seniors ready for their next adventure. You may have seen their picture as the cover photo for the GSME volunteer swap. They were the girls in the high ropes course. So super neat opportunities. And I just want to do a quick click to be sure that the audience view is up, and it's what I think it is. That always helps. Hey, we have another attendee. Woohoo, welcome. Hi. Oh, hi, Tammy. Good to see you. I hope that you've got stuff to bring. I just started talking about what the girls are up to and where they're going next. How about your seniors this year? What did they do over the summer, and what are their plans for this year?
They actually did three things, big things over the summer. They went whitewater rafting
Yay, nice. Where?
with the compass, whatever was in the compass. They
Oh,
went
okay.
whitewater rafting.
Nice.
And then they did a scavenger hunt in Brunswick, which was a big deal.
Yeah, I love the pictures from that you posted on the volunteer swap.
And then they slept over in my backyard.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That is great. With the scavenger hunt, you guys have the local badge, right? Where people get to know the community. And you said, did they use that and anything else, or how did you put together that scavenger hunt?
We put that together basically so they could learn a little bit about the community, use local transportation, that type of stuff. They had to get help from a lot of people within the community too.
And isn't that a great skill for girls to develop? We're such a culture that's about independence and making it on our own, but the reality is nobody makes it on our own. I think Ellen DeGeneres. Everybody knows who Ellen is and goes, "Woohoo, Ellen!" But how many hundreds of people does she have working for her to make things happen? Oprah, even more. Oprah's got tons of people, or any one of these folks running for president. They all have entourage is not just to make them glow, but to really help make things fall into place so that they can make magic happen. And that doesn't happen unless you learn how to ask for help. Like, which bus do I take? It's
Right.
important to ask. So from where the girls have been and what they've got coming up next, I wanted to just show some of the different opportunities because not everybody's aware of all the bajillion things that seniors and ambassadors can do. But every time I get a class of brand new volunteers, mostly who are working with daisies and brownies, I tell them, you've just got to stay until they get in the high school because by the time they get in high school, they can do so many things. And look at all these things. We've got the CIT and CIT2, VIT, destinations, and I'm going to click on that in a minute. The brand new outdoor badges as well as all the other badges at those two levels. The outdoor skills patch, not only to do it for themselves, but to organize it for younger girls. Same with the financial literacy, and I want to share some of the sharing the wealth stuff there. The many journeys, and I have got to tell you, I like a lot of the senior and ambassador journeys very much. I think my favorite is Bliss just because the book turns upside down. It's like two books in one. So you get Bliss, live it, Bliss, give it. I love that kind of book. And then, of course, the opportunity to do a gold award, to work on a gold project and earn a gold award, which my daughter, who is in her first week of college, is just finishing up her final paperwork right now for her gold project, really down to the wire. But making all of that happen, or maybe the girls are interested in doing something else altogether. And if that's the case, how is the troop going to support those interests? Whether it's individual interests that the troop is supporting, or it's a group interest, or whatever it is, how is the troop going to come together to support them? I want to flesh out some of these opportunities, and Tammy, please do chime in as you wish, because you know more about many of them than I probably do. But this one I had a hyperlink to because I wanted to show everybody how to get to the destination page on the Girl Scouts, the GSUSA, the girlscouts.org website. And so if you go to, well, what I did was I Googled Girl Scout destinations, and it took me right here to forgirls.girlscout.org travel, and then take a trip destinations. And they've really done a nice job of organizing this website so that you certainly can look at all of the options right there in a one scroll down, but it's a lot. So you might go specifically for the age of the girls you have, like 15 or 16 or 17. And I was clicking on some of them earlier and having a little too much fun imagining going on some of these. I love that there's one right here in Maine. So if you've got girls who want to learn more about hands-on art and outdoor adventures in Mid-Coast Maine, they can do that. And then one that I saw that I just thought, ooh, that'd be fun. And this one actually almost scared me because this one, it's in Georgia. But the picture that they posted is girls in a cavern. And I've been in lots of caverns, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little more trepidatious about them. So look at them, they're spelunking. We have a new safety activity checkpoint all about spelunking. And it's down there at the southern reaches of the Appalachians. And so if you click on the arrow, as I did, it takes you, tells you about the adventure, tells you when it's going to happen, how much it's going to cost. This one is relatively inexpensive. I don't believe it includes the airfare. It does not. But the $1,000 plus whatever the airfare or travel costs to Atlanta, Georgia. And I can tell you that there are direct flights from Portland, Maine to Atlanta, Georgia, at least twice a day during the summer. And then it gives you the link to the destinations application. So really easy to learn more about. You could also go to the Girl Scouts of Greater Atlanta website to find out more about the folks who are putting it on. But I'm sure that for some girls that would be a super adventure. Another one that I liked, that I think I would like it a little bit more, but the trek through, basically through the Alps, Tour du Mont Blanc, so trek through France, Switzerland, and Italy. This one, it's a little pricier too, but I'm fascinated by the Alps, and getting to go and tromp around through the mountains, I'm sure I would break into song more than once. That's my fancy style. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but with all of these, GSUSA and GSME help the girls come up with ways that they can earn their money. And so it's an opportunity for them to really earn something that they're excited about doing and wanting to do. And again, the application is right there. So checking out destinations, and along the theme of travel, checking out the Girls on the Go with my friend Tammy Fisher, who's right on the line here. And Tammy, want to tell us again how people can reach you to let you know that they are interested in going on these trips?
They can reach me at travel@gsmaine.org.
Great. How easy is that? So travel@gsmaine.org. I'm going to type it in. I wonder if it'll show up. If I type it right there. Travel. Oh, nope. Went somewhere else. Oh, maybe. At gsmaine.org. Let's see if it comes up. If my pictures come back.
The thing is they can go to a workshop at November 7th at Leadership Conference.
Right. At Transforming Leadership. Yeah, because November 7th at UMO, you want to remember, if you've got girls in this age group, the seniors and ambassadors, that this is a great opportunity for them to go learn about all the different kinds of things that they can do, particularly with travel, but with other things as well. And it will be at UMO, November 7th. You can sign up in your, get more information in the Compass. You can sign up there, or you can sign up online. And the girls can sign up for individual workshops. At lunchtime, there are going to be tours of the campus. It's going to be a lot of fun. And coincidentally, we have an adult volunteer treasure chest happening simultaneously on the campus with lots of great workshops. And so the information about that is in the same place in the compass. And check it out. But some other things here that we've got on this page, I just want to check in, make sure you all know where to find them. These outdoor badges, these are the new outdoor badges. And I just had a web page up. I'll click and show you where those are. Maybe I won't, thought I would, or not. So I'll take you to them so you know how to get there. If you go to GSUSA, girlscouts.org, and you click on shop, and then under badges and awards, it's got the new outdoor badges right at the top. And they're selling the pre-printed packets for $2.50, but they're also making available the PDF download for free. And so the senior outdoor badge, this brand new Girls' Choice outdoor badge, is paddling, and it's all paddling sports, paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and it gives you a 12-page PDF of the many varied and unusual things girls might do in paddling sports to help them really develop prowess with it, which is nice. And then the ambassador one takes it a step further. It's the ultimate recreation challenge. So it really challenges girls to go that next step in some type of outdoor recreation that they're excited about. Perhaps even becoming certified in it and taking it to younger girls. So again, it's a free downloadable PDF, or you can purchase the pamphlet for $2.50, and it gives the girls a little more challenge outdoors and a connection. It's that opportunity for them to truly be ambassadors of the outdoors. So I love that when the title comes into play there. Then there's the Outdoor Skills Patch. Oh, and I put away my window. The Outdoor Skills Patch is one of ours. Oh, look at, you could go to the outdoor badges from here. To get to the Outdoor Skills Patch, go to the Girl Scouts of Maine website, and under Activities, you see Patches. Click on that, and it takes you to our patch page that has all different kinds of patches that girls of all ages might be interested in. But this Outdoor Skills Patch is for all levels of girls. And when you click on it, you see our PDF that you can download. And it starts with level 1, which is really intended for brownies or up. And some daisies have done it too and had a great time with it. But say your seniors have never worked on this patch, they would still start with level 1, even though they're much older than seniors. And that's because it's an opportunity for them to make sure that they've got the skills they need as they work their way up. So it's progression. And what's wonderful is because they're older, they learn faster, which doesn't mean they learn super fast, but they learn faster than they would have when they were brownies. A daisy or brownie troop might only do level 1 in a year or even 2 years, but seniors might do level 1 and 2, or even level 1, 2, and 3 if they're really committed and into it. And so it has activities for the girls to do to learn in each of these different levels and in each of these different types of activities, and then they go on to the next. If they have done it before, they might be interested in putting on an outdoor skills day locally for 1 or 2 other troops, or maybe working with some members of the service team to put it on in their service unit so that they can firm up their skills by teaching them to other people and provide that service for the younger girls. Similarly, with these financial literacy badges, we have 4 financial literacy badges for seniors and ambassadors. And these are really great. At this level, they're really looking to the girls' future. So looking to see, what am I going to need to know when I go to college or when I'm living on my own, and how am I going to budget? Because all the way along through those badges, those topics have been talked about, but somehow when you can actually imagine having to do it, it brings it home a little bit, makes it a little more real. And so there are those badges for our senior and ambassador girls to do, but then we've also put together a Share the Wealth workshop, which is a workshop aimed at adult volunteers to take to girls to help them develop their financial literacy skills. And I've been inviting senior and ambassador girls to come participate in it so that they too can be financial literacy experts and go take some of the activities to younger girls, or maybe peer girls. So if your girls are interested in doing something like that, definitely let me know, and we can work out a workshop. And then, of course, we've got all of these great journeys. Girltopia, a super favorite. Imagine a world that is ideal for girls. And what would that look like to you? What would be the important things to you, to your girls, in Girltopia? And, it's a cacophony of brilliant ideas and opportunities for girls to explore. Um, Justice and Your Voice are a little more serious for the ambassador girls than Bliss, but all three of those are really interesting. So What, Mission Sisterhood, and Girltopia for seniors. Lots of things to explore. And what's key with all of them is that they are not schoolwork. They are opportunities for girls to really explore their worlds. And so if anybody complains that they're schoolwork, it's because we haven't taken that step back to say, okay, how are we going to do this and make it exciting and fun and right for our troop? And so I've actually included the picture of the adult guides for most of these, partly because I could find them. But I've included them because, without question, senior and ambassador girls are capable of planning their own journeys. You certainly wouldn't throw them into a car and say, guess what, we're going for 3,000 miles. Just be quiet back there, because they wouldn't be. They would be saying, wait, I want to see that. Wait, I've got to stop to go to the bathroom. I'm hungry. Wait, let's go see this other thing. And so that's what we want with the journeys too. Give them the adult guide and say, okay, turn to page 8 through 12 and figure out what the awards are for, what you have to do to earn the awards for this journey. And then let's plot out our journey. And does anybody remember the AAA triptychs? Make a triptychs for your troop, where the girls break it down, what they want to do, what they want to see, and how they're going to meet those bars of the awards. So that gives the entire troop an opportunity to support the interests of individual girls as well as the group. Because maybe you've got a senior troop, maybe you've got 3 girls who really want to do So What, but then the other 3 want to do Mission Sisterhood, and one kind of is interested in both. Well then, figure out as a group, how are we going to support both of those journeys? And maybe let the 3 who are most interested in each one sell that one to the other girls, so that all of the girls end up earning both journeys as they go along. But they can be as long or as brief as they want, as long as they take it in depth and really give themselves that joy of exploring it, not sitting around a table doing the studying necessarily, but really exploring the journey and making it as rich as they want it to be for themselves. And the advantage of doing 2 is then the girls would be eligible to do a Girl Scout Gold project to earn their gold awards. And there's something lovely that only 5% of girls earn a gold award, but really it would be so much better if 50% of girls earn their gold awards, if 95% of the girls earn their gold awards. Not because it's nifty to wear a shiny pin, well, and it is nifty to wear a shiny pin, but really because it's such an opportunity to take a project of that level from soup to nuts, to identify a need in the community, to create something that will help resolve some of that need, if not all of it, and to develop it into a sustainable project so that it's helpful while it's happening, and then somebody's going to carry it on. Somehow it's going to continue on after you. Isn't that what we all want? We invest a lot in everything we do. And don't we hope that when we leave, it doesn't just fall to pieces, but instead we've done such a good job of preparing the people coming up after us that they carry it on and continue to help it grow into the beauty that it can be. So really looking at that get better mindset, that growth mindset. It's such a lovely thing to develop in ourselves, and it's a lovely thing to develop in our girls. Very, very empowering, I think. Do you have other thoughts there, Tammy? Other things that you can think of that I didn't include in this hodgepodge?
No, I do know that most of my girls have loved the So What and the Mission Sisterhood.
Aren't they fun ones? Yeah, they're very fun. Girltopia, I really loved personally, but a lot of girls I've talked to, I think it was just out of reach for them. Like it was just a little too much. Which doesn't mean anybody should be discouraged from trying it, but Mission Sisterhood and So What especially are very accessible. They're very hands-on, and it's easy to pull in some wonderful kinesthetic things. What were some of the things you did with So What?
We went to a farmer's market and interviewed all the people at the farmer's market, both in Topsom and in Brunswick.
Nice.
And then we did it during a weekend. We slept over on Friday night and Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave, each girl had to bring $11.
All right.
And we gave a group $1 per person, and they had to create a meal for $1 per person. And then another group had to create a meal for $3 per person, and then another group had to create a meal for $7 per person.
Nice.
And they had all the money.
Now, for those of you who haven't heard Tammy talk about this exercise before, she's also done it in grocery stores, but I love that you did it at the farmers markets. That is wonderful, because the girls would see, especially after having done it at a supermarket, they would see different prices, they would see different quality of food, different looking food, but then after tasting it, different quality and flavor too. And how cool is it to get to talk to the farmer who actually grew the carrot or the tomato or the lavender or whatever it is. What a great experience.
And then we went and interviewed like the chefs, a couple chefs in the local area that used fresh food from local areas too.
Nice.
You know, that type of stuff. It was more eating local. They did a lot on their food footprint. You know, how much does it cost to bring those strawberries from Argentina or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that is such an eye-opening thing when they go to the grocery store and they start looking at where things came from. One of the troops that I'm familiar with, the very first thing they did was go to the grocery store and they picked up apple juice, and it was during apple picking season here. And so they thought, oh, surely this will come from Maine. And it did not. It came from South Africa. It was some very well-traveled apple juice. And they were like, what? How is that possible? And so that started, they're just running through the store looking at where everything came. And that troop ended up doing a whole bunch of canning. Their slogan was, let's boil the snot out of it. And so they would make jams and salsas and chutneys and pickles and all kinds of different things, and then can it. And they sold their product at craft fairs and earned money to go on a trip to New York City. And I think it took them a year and a half to earn enough money. But how cool for them to have earned enough money to travel and have a nice 5 or 6 day trip in New York City by doing a journey and pickling things and, boiling the snot out of things and having this great product to share. And, their families bought some, but lots of people in the community bought it and just loved it. And, they had pictures of their fingers not having fingerprints from boiling tomatoes and peeling them, all sorts of crazy stuff that, doesn't necessarily sound fun, but it's fun, as they look back on it and they remember very fondly. So what? I can't recommend it highly enough if you've got seniors and you want to do something. Are your girls going to try Girltopia this year, or are they moving on to different things?
No, my girls, this troop had just bridged to seniors, the ones that got that. They want to do So What and Mission Sisterhood.
Oh, nice.
But another troop that I had that did So What, they were very interested in fair trade and that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not really in So What, but because they were so interested in it, tied it into So What.
Nice.
We kind of made it work with what was going on with the food, with the footprint and all this other stuff. So you can tailor this stuff to what your girls are interested in.
You really, really can. And that's interesting too, because I think have you taken girls to senior conference in Rhode Island?
Not yet.
For the last 5 years or so, they've definitely talked about fair trade and how human trafficking ties into that. But fair trade, and like if you buy coffee, you want to make sure it's fair trade coffee. Otherwise, you're supporting people who are paying children too little or not at all, enslaving children or women or elderly people to work in fields. And it's like amazing the horrible things that happen in the world that we're completely oblivious to. And so I have made quite the effort to go out and look for fair trade or organizations that support fair trade and organic, to avoid chemicals, not only for me, but for the people growing the plants, because isn't that, a huge problem too? And so what brings that to attention? Girltopia does too. So for anybody else out there, or maybe Tammy with this troop, as if the girls discover the whole fair trade thing, which would be easy to do. Bohemian Coffee, I know they use fair trade, or Wicked Joe's too, in the Topsom area. I believe they're all fair trade too. If they discover that, that would tie right into Girltopia, which does talk a little bit about human trafficking, and it opens the door for girls to discover more about the plight of other women in the world and things that maybe they can do to lessen the American impact on that. So, it's amazing the opportunities our girls, our 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls have to explore the world right from home through the journeys, and then figure out where they want to go to make a difference, and what kind of a take action project they're going to have. And I just want to keep moving because I have a meeting at 1 that I told them I'd be a couple minutes late because I don't want to cut too short. But I put this together. When I titled this, "We're All in This Together," all I could hear was High School Musical, with Zac Efron and the cute kids, and they're singing, "We're all in this together," because that's what I think of when I think of Girl Scouts. It's what I think of when I think of the world too. But with Girl Scouts, we really are all in this together and here to support each other. And that made me think of group process. And this is such a crazy overgeneralization. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking, that is not true, that is not true, that is not true, take a deep breath and just kind of just flow with this. When you get daisies, just like with a new group, the daisies are cute and they're nice and they're eager to please. And really, when you get in a new group, people tend to be nice and they use manners more than maybe 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds do. But we tend to be nice to each other when we first come together in a group. And then when we get to the middle of the group's life, we start to get a little crusty to each other. Maybe not quite as patient with some things that are starting to bug us, or we may feel competitive for ideas because we can kind of see the end out there and we want to make sure our ideas get heard. And that's a similar thing that happens often with juniors and cadets, not always, but on occasion, because the girls are becoming more self-conscious and more aware of differences between themselves and adults. But they're also capable of more than they realize. It's such a rich, rich time for them to develop skills. But then by the time the girls get to seniors and ambassadors, they've developed a lovely maturity about themselves. And even like 9th grade, they're still a little foley, long-legged and elbows stick out in funny places. But not, and I don't just mean physically, but actually in their behavior too. Sometimes they do some really goofy things. But something that happens between 9th and 10th grade, they come to the meeting and it's like, who are you, young woman? You are so mature and you've got things. And they can still be funny and goofy, but there's a competence about them that's lovely. And they're also busy and stressed. And so, Tammy, I suspect you've seen the same thing where the oldest girls would come to meetings and you say, okay, what are we going to do? And they're like, oh, I don't know, just plan something for us, because they've got so much else going on. But when isn't it funny? They're so wonderful. And then when they do have something to work on, though, they will work together and support each other. And it's kind of beautiful that way, that they, even if it's something they're not especially interested or they're totally irritated with the person, they'll still support her because she's a sister. And that, like, at that level, they get that whole thing of it's more than just an activity. It's a thing. It's familial. It's it's a way of life. So as I bring myself to tears, it's they're all in this together, and this is a great age for them to start. To continue developing for themselves and for each other, and work together to take advantage of those opportunities that were on the last slide. So, ta-da! What else is on your mind? What else are you thinking about, Tammy, for this coming year and kicking it off in style?
Oh, planning. The girls have...
Yes. Tell us about the plan for success that you've got with your girls. Have you already done it?
We did some of it. We did the target or the
The
bullseye
bullseye.
thing.
Yep.
And they were like very good about that. Then they started working on the plan for success. The big thing is last year they wrote job descriptions for each position. So they kind of put some of those back onto the plan for success to make sure that the president followed through on stuff and the VP and that type of stuff.
Oh, so
So
within
that
your troop, you
really
have president and vice president and that kind of thing.
right.
Oh, nice. And
And
I
we have
love
a
that they wrote those job descriptions. That's great.
right, and we have a photographer slash PR person.
Nice.
So the photographer has to take pictures and then submit them to GS News at GSME, at gsmain.org,
Right.
that type of stuff. And so, I mean, they were very specific on what they wanted done, and they put that back into their plan for success. And
Great.
they're still working on it, but they're really getting good about it.
That is terrific. Um, I don't have your plan for success pulled up. I forgot all about it, but that is, if anybody listening is interested in seeing a troop level plan for success, Tammy has done a lovely job with her troop putting together this tool for them to use to plan. It's not just goal setting, it's really planning for success. So having those goals out there and then an action plan of how they're going to get there and what activities they're going to do and how they're going to really make the year rich enough so at the end of the year they're happy and they feel accomplished. And isn't that what we all want? To be able to look back over whatever period of time and say, yay, that was time well invested. I'm so glad we did those things. But it doesn't always happen by accident. Although, I think that maybe it's cultural, maybe it's human. It's so fun when it does happen by accident that we often think that planning takes some of the spontaneity out of it. But I'm a big fan of planning because spontaneity doesn't always happen. So yay for planning for success. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Tammy, because you are always a fount of wonderful information. And folks, remember, if your girls are interested in doing Girls on the Go, reach out to Tammy at travel@gsmain.org. She's got so many trips going right now that are in different stages of progress. It's very exciting, and I have to see how I can elbow my way into that New Zealand, Australia one in a few years. And yeah, I need to go to my other meeting, but have a great day. And Tammy, I've got Dutch ovens for you. So I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you later then.
Bye.
Bye.